Hey, 8th graders, let's take a look today at the slope formula. You should have this student handout out. So let's use the graph at the right to answer A through D. What is the difference, the change in y values from S to T? Well, here's point S right here, and the y value is 9. And here is the T value where the Y value is 3, and the difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. So the difference between the two of them is 6. Now let's look at the same thing. What is the difference change in X values from S to T? Well, in S, my X value is 6. In T, my X value is 2. And again, we want the difference. So 6 minus 2 equals 4. Here's a little reminder. The coordinate pair is X, comma, Y. Now we're going to write the ratio of the change in the Y values, part A. So the change in the Y values is 6 over the change in the X values, which was here, which is 4. Okay, so the change in Y values, part A, is 6. Change in X values, part B, is 4. Now, let's compare the ratio in part C to the ratio of the rise over run. What do you notice? Well, this is 6/4, and the rise here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The run is 1, 2, 3, 4. So what do we notice about these? They're exactly the same. So because they are exactly the same, we can describe the slope with the following ratios. The rise over run is the same as, or the change in y over the change in x. Because of these ratios, the formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So, and here is what they have, the y2 minus y1, y2 minus y1, and the x2 minus x1. So we're going to use this formula right here to answer some questions down here. So the formula is y2 minus y1. Well, here are all my y's. Here are all my x's. Okay? So let's start with this xy point. So we have 11 is my y2. 11 minus y1 right here, which is 3 over 1 minus 0, and that would equal 8 over 1, so the slope would be 8. I could have also picked this point and any other point. I would do 27 would be my y2, so 27 minus, and I could do 11 minus 11 would be 16, and 3 over 3 minus 1, which would be 2, and 16 over 2 also equals 8. On number 2, a line that passes through the points -7, 3 and 3, -4. Well, here is my y2, so that would be -4 minus a -3 over 3 minus a -7. So this would also be -4 plus 3 over 3, a negative times a negative 7 is a positive, so that would be 3 plus 7. So that would be negative 1/10. That is your slope. And to go to number 3, again, I can use my y2 minus 1. I can pick any y value. So I'm going to pick negative 6 and 6. Negative 6.5 and 6. So negative 6.5 minus, let's do the negative 8 over 6 minus 0. Oops, no, it'll be 6 minus 4 over 6 minus 4. So this would be, sorry, I forgot to turn this back on. So it would be negative 6.5 minus negative 8, which would be 6.5 plus 8, which would be 1.5. 6 minus 4 is 2. So 2, so my slope is 1.5 over 2. Now, number 4, a line that passes through the origin and 6, 7. So my origin is 0, 0 and 6, 7. So y2 minus y1 is 7 minus 0 over 6, x2 minus x1. So that's 6 minus 0. That would equal 7 over 6. So my slope would be 7/6 or 1 1/6. I wrote our formula up at the top here so we can refer to it easily. A graphed line contains the points shown in the table. What is the average rate of change between x equals 20 and x equals 30? Well, those are these points right here. So I'm going to use my y2 would be 1060 minus y1, 710 over 30, my x2 minus x1, which would equal 30 minus 20 is 10. And I'm going to do it on a calculator real quick. Minus 710 is 350. And 350 divided by 10 is 35. So the average rate of change in this is 35 between these two numbers. Okay, a graphed line contains the points 5 and negative 9 and 5, 2. Find the slope of the line. Well, we can use this formula. y2 minus y1, so that would be 2 minus negative 9 over 5 minus 5. So that would be 11 over 0, which would be a slope of 0. So the slope would be undefined. It would be a vertical line, where x equals 5. I want you to go ahead and try number 7 and 8 on your own. Come back and check your answer. Tropical storm Ava brought heavy rain to Galveston, Texas. The table shows the linear relationship between the total inches of rainfall and time in hours. Calculate the rate of change of rainfall per hour. Well, first thing we can do is we can do our y2 minus y1, so 9 minus 4.5, and then 12 minus 6 to get 4.5 over 6. But I want it per hour. So I made it equivalent to a fraction with a denominator of 1. Because remember, something for 1, that's your rate of change. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 4.5 divided by 6 is 0.75. So it's 0.75 inches per hour. Number 8, the mistake they made was that they did 1 minus negative 5, which is negative 1 plus 5, and it should have been negative 4 plus 18. Should have been negative 4 plus 18, which would give me 4 over 14, which would be 2 over 7. Number 9. Marco's growing crystals for an experiment. He has 2 jars containing different solutions to form the crystals. The tables show the linear relationship between the amount of crystal growth in grams and the number of days that have passed. Which jar has a greater rate of change? All right, let's do jar A, 43.5 minus 29. 43.5 minus 29 over 6 minus 4. This minus this is 14.5. 6 minus 4 is 2. 14.5 divided by 2 equals 7.25 grams per day. B, 37 minus 22. 37 minus 22 over 5 minus 3. It's 14.8 over 2, which is 7.4 grams per day. So jar B has a greater rate of change because 7.4 is larger than 7.25. Explain the method you would choose to find the slope of the line. So I have 2 points here. I can use my y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2, 4.5 minus 7. And then my x2 is 0 minus x1 is negative 5. Oops, that's that would be a plus. So because 0 minus a negative 5 is 0 plus 5, which would be negative 2.5 over 5, which would equal negative 1/2. So my slope is negative 1/2. Also notice my slope is going down. So describe the type of situations when the slope formula is more helpful than counting rise over run. Well, if you notice on this one, my rise, it doesn't automatically cross or go along a line. It crosses in between here. So that makes it a little bit harder to count. So you'll notice that 4.5 is a rational number. So when your numbers are rational, it's a little bit more difficult to find exactly your rise over one run just by counting. So when points don't cross exactly on 2 crossing lines, like right here, they don't cross there. This one right here crosses in between the 5 and the 4. Or they're rational numbers. It doesn't cross exactly right here. Okay, if you have any questions, please bring them to class. And let me know if you have any questions. Have a good day.